Guys, you're so lucky you stumbled upon this video, because by the end of it, you'll have the knowledge to make your serve go from like average to proper pro level. Hopefully. Yeah, you will. Alright guys, so in this video, we'll only be covering the first serve. I'll take care of the flat serve.
And I'll take care of the perfect slice.
So serve, in my opinion at least, is the most important shot in tennis. First serve especially. And it's also the only shot that you can fully control from the beginning to the end. So it's definitely something that you should get locked. I'll go over 4 main things in a serve. I'll start with the toss, then I'll cover the leg placement, the trophy pose, and the contact. The most important part in the serve is the toss. You can do a proper serve without doing much if your toss is locked. So tip number 1, how you're gonna throw your ball. You gotta throw it high enough so you have enough time to prepare your shot. You also gotta throw it a little bit in front of yourself, so this way you can properly transfer the weight of your body into the ball. And a little bit to the right. Not like too much to the right, but just make sure it's not right above your head, but more like above your shoulder. All right, now moving on to the legs. Now this tip is gonna be a little biased, because this is just my preferred way of doing it, yeah? But as you may know, there's 2 ways of putting your legs when you serve. You either just leave them as is, or you put them together. As you might have seen, I put my legs together when I serve. It gives me way more reach, so this way I get more margin over the net, as well as more power because I'm able to lean into the ball way more. So if you've never tried putting your legs together when you serve, I recommend you try it. Do keep in mind that it's way harder to coordinate the legs and the jump and everything, but if it works for you, it might really pay off well. Now, one thing to look out for when you're putting your legs together is to make sure that your right foot, if you're right-handed, left foot, if you're left-handed, doesn't go over the left one. So, because it just turns your body in a weird way, so just make sure you don't do that. It has to go next to it and a little behind, just like that. All right, now onto the trophy pose. The trophy pose is the position right before hitting the serve where you prepare it. And there's a lot of things going on in the trophy pose, but I'll go over the main ones. First of all, don't rush out of it, okay? Give yourself time to prepare, to aim, and then smash. All right, now the second tip. And second tip is actually something that I constantly make sure that I do even during my matches and whenever I serve. And that's when you toss the ball, make sure that you spread your shoulders really wide, because and like open the chest, because that allows you to get way more power into the shot. All right, tip number 3. When you toss the ball, make sure you look at it for as long as you can. Many people take their eyes away from the ball and often just hit a frame and they're like, oh, what happened? But you just didn't look at the ball. So look at the ball, okay? Tip number 4, focus on your tossing arm. Your tossing arm is the arm that tosses the ball. Make sure you don't put it away too early. Keep it up there for as long as you can, because that's going to prevent you from falling over and therefore missing into the net. On a side note, if during a match or something you feel like you're missing too much into the net, that's the first thing you should focus on, because that's actually one of the most common reasons why we miss into the net. Because you just fold over because you don't hold your arm up and the ball goes into the net. As simple as that. All right guys, now this is really important.
Like, subscribe,
and comment. Lastly, the contact, the most exciting part of the serve. And on a flat serve, there's not much to it. You just got to hit it flat. But if you want to feel a little more secure on an insecure day, you should give it a little bit of a slice. Not too much, not where it's like a slice, but just a little bit. Ari calls it the slice controlation movement. The slice controlation movement will take a little bit of the power, but you will get way more control. All right guys, so that's about it on the flat serve. I have no idea about the slice serve, so let this beast guide you through it.
Which beast? Me? I'll do it. Okay guys, so I'm gonna do the slice part, and as you already learned from Master Grisha, the toss is very important. So, for me it's because it's like the conductor of an orchestra, you know? If you do it well, everything will follow it and it will go very fluently and it's gonna be very good. So yeah. One of the most important things is to throw the ball on the right side of your left foot, but a bit more exaggerated on the flat serve, okay? So the ball should bounce more or less. Okay, so the second part is the legs. And unlike Grisha, I don't put my legs together. I just stand like this because this way I feel more planted. I feel more control in my whole movement. So this is up to you. You're gonna choose how you wanna serve. So next up is the contact point. So as you already know, in life, too much power can be harmful. So in this case, we should control it a bit more. We don't want to hit it way too hard because we want the ball to have time, you know, to get the effect when it's traveling in the air. So when you hit the ball, don't focus on giving it raw power. Instead of that, just make sure the ball touches as many strings as possible, basically, from the right side of the ball, so it takes all the effect while it's traveling in the air. Okay, so the last bit on the slice serve is the direction you give to the ball, because the most important thing in the slice serve is the placement, because you know you have less power, so the thing that makes them suffer when returning on the slice serve is the effect you give and the placement of the ball, which has to go as close as possible to the white line, or if you're serving on the advantage side, close to the tee. Basically, the shorter the better. Girls don't say the same, but yeah. In this case, the shorter the better, because your opponent is gonna have more distance to cover.
Right guys, so that's about it on the tips for the first serve. Let us know what you think about this kind of videos.
There's another video coming up about the second serve, so stay tuned.
But guys, really the most important tip is repetition. That's what makes it. So go out there on the court, do as many baskets of serve as you can. I don't know, like 2 per practice if you can. And trust me, that's what makes the difference.
No. Watching us makes the difference.
Video, because by the end of it, your pro will go from bridge to proper pro level, hopefully. Again.
If you're serving on the advantage jack,
Average to proper pro, hopefully. You're sure that you can toss the same way every time. Retake that.